This is Father Dominic Holtz coming to you from Rome, Italy, with a word of hope for Tuesday of the second week of Advent. In the Gospel today, we hear a familiar and quite comforting story. It's the parable of the man who leaves the 99 sheep behind to go seek out the one who was lost. And we're told that God, in just the same way, does not will that anyone be lost, so he pursues us, he brings us back. And that is, of course, comforting, but it's not clearly so comforting from the point of view of the lost sheep. We might like to imagine that the lost sheep just accidentally got lost and is scared and happy to be found, but we know in our own lives that's just not so. When we go lost, it's generally because we've chosen to be lost. We've tried to hide. We've fled from God. And yet, the Gospel tells us, God will not let us be lost. He'll pursue us. He'll seek us out. It reminds us of the great poem, The Hound of Heaven, by the wonderful and mystical but somewhat tragic poet Francis Thompson. Francis Thompson had come from a respectable Catholic family in England and was supposed to be, at least in his parents' hopes, a doctor. He did go to medical school, but found that that didn't work, and he failed out and fled medical school to go to London, where he ended up living on the streets for some 3 years and becoming addicted to opium. Eventually, he considered committing suicide, but drew back from that and was drawn in by a prostitute who was able to care for him. Later on, other people took him in and they found his poems that he had written, and he found quite some success at the end of his life, but his own health had been quite broken by his addiction, by his time on the streets, and by his otherwise frail health, and he died before he reached the age of 50. Now, in his poem, The Hound of Heaven, we see this image of God who relentlessly, unperturbedly, but continuously seeks out those who have fled him. The I of the poem, the protagonist of the poem, flees God over and over again, tries to find solace and comfort anywhere but in God. But everything else betrays him. Nothing else will give him refuge, because wherever you drive out the love of God, you drive out all other love. And the love that we're seeking is in fact the love of God. So the irony here is that when we're lost, we might not see God's pursuit as a good thing. It might be experienced, as it was in the life of Francis Thompson, as hardship or difficulties. And we might find God's reaching after us from quite unusual places, like the kindness of a prostitute who lets someone in and cares for him from living on the streets. God's way of seeking us out isn't always comfortable, even though in the end it is comforting. It's comforting because in the end it strengthens us. It lets us know where we find true love, where we find what we are really seeking. As Francis Thompson writes, fear wist not to evade, as love wist to pursue. That is, fear does not know how well to evade, as love knows how to pursue. Brothers and sisters, let us now be open to God's relentless pursuit of us. Let us stop evading him, stop trying out of fear to run away from him by whatever else is distracting us, and let ourselves be found. Let ourselves be pursued by the love of God, and so brought back into the fold. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a word of hope.